So if you've ever wanted to feel like a Jedi Knight, buy one of these. If I present my hand, I now have full control over this drone just with the power of Luke Skywalker. The DJI Neo 2 is without question the absolute best drone for the beginner. For 3 reasons. You don't need any flying experience to use the Neo 2 because it virtually flies itself. It's easily the safest drone on the market right now with omnidirectional obstacle avoidance and full coverage propeller guards. Finally, with upgrades in frame rates, active track and shot selection like selfie mode,
Selfie Shot.
creating content for the solo vlogger has made this flying camera the must-have gadget going into 2026. Now, there are 3 ways to fly this drone. The classic way, using the RC controller, just like any of the other mini-series drones over the last 6 years or so, and it's capable of cinematic quality footage. Now, to fly remotely like this, you'll need the Fly More combo with RC controller, and the drone will come with a digital transceiver installed, and this will enable flight distances up to 7 kilometers away and speeds up to 26 miles per hour. The second way we can fly the Neo 2 is by connecting wirelessly to the DJI Fly app installed on your mobile phone, with a vast array of automated follow shots and trick shots that require very little input from the user. Finally, you can fly the Neo 2 without any remote control or mobile phone, just by pressing a few buttons on the side and using the new digital display next to the gimbal camera for some unobstructed follow shots and effortless trick shots. Right, so let's choose a cycling follow shot. And we'll choose the default settings of rear, close, and flat.
3, 2, 1.
Hopefully it will find me. Really putting it through its paces with the wind today. With the upgraded omnidirectional obstacle avoidance sensing and versatile flight on the Neo 2, flying in and out of obstructions easily avoids collisions in all directions. Come on, this way. Right, so let's change the parameters of the cycling follow shot. This time we're going to go forward facing and we're going to go at a low camera angle. The wind speeds today are between 10 and 14 miles per hour, so we're well within the wind resistance of the Neo 2. So it's found the bike and it's found that low camera angle. Included in these upgrades is better active track for smoother and faster follow shots, even during sharp turns, taking the maximum speed on the original Neo from 17 miles per hour to an impressive 26 miles per hour on the Neo 2. Brand new to the Neo 2 is a feature called Dolly Zoom, or Hitchcock Zoom if you're in the movie business. And this is a cinematic technique which combines the camera moving forwards or backwards while simultaneously zooming in or out in the opposite direction. Well, this little guy can actually do dolly zooms. So if we connect the Neo 2 to the mobile phone, we can use the drop-down menu for shot selection and choose dolly zoom over on the left-hand side. And then we can open up the parameters panel and we can choose, we go from medium, which is a distance of 3.9 meters from my person, and a zoom range of ×2. And let's land. So this is going with a shot size of full, which is 8.1 meters from the subject. All right, let's see if it works with me walking towards it. Flying the Neo 2 without any remote control or mobile phone is an absolute piece of cake. Within seconds of powering up the drone, we can cycle through some default choices. There are some familiar classic auto shots to choose from, one of mine being circle. The new built-in Selfie Shot mode is now available on the Neo 2, accessible directly on the drone itself using the shot selection button on the side here.
Selfie shot.
This mode takes 3 individual photographs in succession with varying compositions for upper body, full body, and wide framing for those group shots. Completely hands-free with no helper required. And it uses portrait optimization for better, more flattering photographs. So if you've ever wanted to feel like a Jedi Knight, buy one of these. This is gesture control. So let's choose something like Spotlight and begin filming in 3, 2, 1. And if I present my hand, I now have full control over this drone just with the power of Luke Skywalker. How cool is that? Up here and down, all the way. Let's come over here. And if I want to stop this reframing, all I do is just give the fist and it stays where I put it. So what if you wanted to control the distance of the drone from yourself? You have to use 2 palms. So let's give 1 palm, and now let's bring in the other. Now we can bring those apart and the drone will fly backwards. How cool is that? And let's bring it back to me. We'll stop there. So it even works at distance. So we're, what, 7 or 8 meters from this? And it's still picking up my gestures. That's absolutely incredible. This thing is fast. Faster than I thought it was going to be. Now, if you're thinking that this flying camera drone is purely for the solo vlogger, then think again, because when connected to the RC controller, we can fly the Neo 2 just like any other DJI flagship drone, and couple this with the 4K quality resolution and the upgraded frame rates of 60 frames per second and 100 frames per second, we can get some truly impressive cinematic quality footage on something the size of a sandwich. Does need a bit of pickle though. So a big upgrade over the original DJI Neo is the available onboard storage, going from just 22 gigabytes to a whopping 49 gigabytes on the Neo 2. That's more than double the capacity. And if we start with a freshly formatted disc, it can hold an impressive 2 hours and 55 minutes of recorded footage at 4K 30 frames per second. With most of the latest DJI drones now offering big internal storage options, it's likely we may never have to use these fiddly little micro SD cards again, and I'm personally thrilled about that. So within this upgraded camera drone comes high-speed quick transfer, meaning that if you forgot to pack a data cable, we can connect the Neo 2 to your phone via Wi-Fi, and the footage can be transferred at lightning speed to the DJI Fly app for post-production. And these speeds increased from 25 to 80 megabytes per second on the new drone. Impressive. So DJI have marketed the Neo 2 as a true follow-me flying camera drone, establishing itself as a kind of personal photographer and videographer. Smarter, safer, and turns what would be complex manual maneuvers into effortless automated aerial shots. Now, one of the things I noticed almost straight away flying this drone compared to any of the mini-series drones is that you feel completely relaxed and at ease, confident that it's not going to hit anything or come crashing to the floor. Even those follow shots from behind requires zero attention from the user, and these full coverage propeller guards, they take away that niggling doubt of potential collision. And don't even get me started on these palm landings, just brilliant. Offering up your hand intuitively instructs the drone to land completely safely. Honestly, you never have to put this thing on the floor ever. The Neo 2 is also the most amount of fun I've ever had flying and testing drones. Gesture controls alone are enough to keep you entertained for hours. And I'm a grown-up, sort of. A complete novice could fly this thing straight out of the box and get advanced aerial footage to rival even the experienced pilot.